What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the LA Soccer Hub Show. My name is Gio Garcia. Today is Monday, September 20th, and every Monday we talk LA Galaxy. You're going to talk Galaxy, man. It's been a tough stretch, tough game, 3-0 loss. Before we get into that, let me introduce my guests. We got Johnny Bolin from Lars. We got Alex Ruiz from Total Galaxy. Obviously, he also writes the articles for us. Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Had a good day. Got some coffee. I'm feeling great.
Nice. Alex, how you doing? Did you get some coffee today too?
No, productive day. Just writing essays all day, to be honest. So a little tired, but it's all right.
Man, I remember those essays and all that stuff you had to do in college. All the fun stuff, right?
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, all my essays are at, I'll go to the games and stuff. I don't know nothing about no writing essays, but
what set you rep, Johnny?
Orange County there, buddy. Orange County.
Oh God, Orange County. Yeah, I heard you guys go hard down there.
Yeah, that's with our high credits. All right.
Wait, what else? Did you do anything else outside of watching the game this weekend, Johnny?
I watched the UFC fights. I love my MMA.
Who fought this weekend?
It was Anthony Smith, and he kicked some ass. It was It was a fun fight, but the fight ended so quick. And that's the thing, man. Is I love MMA, but you always want that main event to be a fireworks show, and sometimes it ends too quick. So it was a fun fight, though. Anthony Smith's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You can never go wrong with that. Jiu-jitsu is the best discipline. If anyone wants to do martial arts, do jiu-jitsu. You heard it here first from Johnny Bolin.
Johnny Bolin approved.
Johnny, a.k.a. McGregor Bolin, over here. Alex, what'd you do this weekend outside of watching the game?
I went to the fair. I don't know if
fair?
you guys can see LA County Fair, the bite-sized one. I don't know if you guys can see, but I got a baseball to the head.
Hold on.
Friday.
Do it again.
Yeah, right there. The seams of the baseball are right there.
How did that happen?
I didn't catch the ball well. It was on me. I'm not gonna blame it on anybody, but I got a baseball to the face because I couldn't hear.
The story. You got to explain the story now.
Basically, I want to go catch a ball, right? And I guess I didn't, because the sun was kind of in my eye. I didn't really see the ball well, so the tip of the glove tipped on the glove and then hit me in the forehead, and it was weird.
And this happened at the fair?
No, this was at the park the day before. Okay. No, this didn't happen at the fair. It was all cool at the fair. Just the day before, I got hit in the head with the ball.
Dang.
So yeah, the seams of the baseball are going to be imprinting on my head for a while.
That is, look at that. Look at that beauty mark right there.
Right there. Wow.
Tell another story. Be like, nah, dude, some guys hit me. Like, there's 5 of them. I kicked their asses. Shot.
Yeah. Destroyer CFC on Twitter says, "What's good, boys? What's up, Destroyer? Thank you for being part of this." Yeah, you definitely had a rough week. Then you got hit to the face by a baseball. Then you got hit to the face again by the Galaxy with the performance they put out. I had a chill weekend. Nothing too much. Just watched a couple games. Went out, adventured a little bit. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, Johnny, talk to us about your hat, the LA Galaxy hat. Why are you rocking the hat today?
I'll tell you why. So I went to Dutch Bros Coffee in Ukaipa. I drove an hour to go with my roommate, and I wore
Where's
the
that
hat.
at? Ukaipa. Where the heck is it?
It's like near Hemet. But look at my hair right now. Just look at this mess. It looks actually quite nice in the angle, but I didn't like how the hair was. So I was like, you know what? Gonna have to go.
Hold on. Are you trying to grow the mullet out? You trying to grow the mullet out over there?
Dude, I like my hair's like it just looks terrible today because I was wearing a hat all day. So I was like, you know what? I gotta wear a hat in the pod now because my hair got all effed up. So it's all. I was like, I ain't gonna gel it up for the pod. I ain't that classy.
Well, hey, we're gonna have to. We got the big dogs looking at us, so now I wear a hat too. I don't want to do my hair either, so that's when I throw that hat in as well. I get a little lazy as well. All right, let's talk about this game, man. Even though we don't want to talk about it, because we know the story, we know what's going on. But the first thing we should mention is they're winless in 6 games, which is the biggest thing, right? I think even before we talk about it, when you look at this game, 3-0, that's a scoreboard. Like when you look at the type of talent that they have, and like the Galaxy should never be losing 3-0 with this type of talent, right? But occasionally you're gonna have a couple bad games and stuff like that. I think this was definitely a bad game, but this was also something that's been consistent with these last 6 games. They've been starting slow. The energy hasn't been there. I think it's just like, right, if you're a Galaxy fan, if you look at this team, like they're performing really bad at one of the best, towards the end of the season, and that's not what you want to happen. Obviously, a terrible start. Reynoso gets a quick goal. Johnny, what were your thoughts? Obviously, watching the game, 4 minutes in, and Reynoso has already put one in the back of the net.
Pardon my French, but sometimes you got to sit back and say, hey, shit happens. And Minnesota's a competitive team. They're a competitive team. I remember their first season in the MLS wasn't great, but they've always been a team that shows up. And the fact that Galaxy has been able to beat them every time up until now has always surprised me because they've always been a very quality team. And in our worst years, we've always been able to beat Minnesota. But I guarantee you they went into this game and they were like, Galaxy are away. They just played. There's no reason why we should lose this game. There's no reason why we should tie this game. We should win this game. And they went into that game knowing they would. The atmosphere was amazing. Oh my gosh, you got to give it to those Loons, man. That was an awesome, awesome atmosphere. And Greg Vanny summed it up really well. He said this is like a playoff atmosphere, and this is something that I guarantee you the Galaxy was like caught off guard about. And that's not an excuse. I mean, 3-0, there's no excuses. Everyone dropped the ball that game. In a 3-0 game, everyone messes up. That's just how it is. But when that goal opened up, I wasn't surprised because I was like, they had that energy. Minnesota right now has that energy that they're here to win. They're not here to tie. They're here to win. So I wasn't surprised.
Yeah. Quickly before we get into you, Alex, Oscar in the chat says Galaxy have won in a game 6-game winless streak, and then Alex gets hit in the head by a baseball.
All I'm gonna say is, next game they're gonna win, and I'm gonna become the sacrificial lamb. I got hit for them to get out of this winless streak.
With the baseball, we gotta hit him every single week with the baseball.
Oh, we have to do the reverse curse. Alex, give us your thoughts. 4 minutes in, and Reynoso already has a goal.
Yeah, Manuel Reynoso is a really quality player, and coming into this game, I kind of was like, all right, I think the Galaxy can do this because the game prior they lost 4-0 to Sporting Kansas City, and then a couple hours before the game, I go look at the roster and the lineup for that game, and Reynoso and a bunch of the other starters aren't even playing in that game, so I'm like, oh crap. This can seriously get bad because I've seen Reynoso do his thing in MLS. Last season, he was incredible in the postseason, led the Loons all the way to the conference finals for the Western Conference. But Seattle, man, screw Seattle. There you go, screw Seattle. That's all I got to say. But Reynoso is definitely a talented player, and it just sucked to see him kind of take the team apart for most of the game, and especially in those first 20 minutes, to see him dominate so well. You knew this was going to happen, but you kind of wish that the Galaxy were a bit more prepared about this. He was given so much time and wasn't really pressed too much. He had a lot of space to hit that some.
I think you're kind of breaking up on us, Alex.
Oh, my bad. But
just repeat what you just said.
But yeah, Reynoso just the Galaxy didn't press him well enough. He had plenty of space to strike with that left foot, and unfortunately that killed us really early in the game, and that really set the tone 20 minutes in.
Yeah. And right before that, I think Joe and Araujo, like 50 seconds in or whatever, he ended up fouling, and they gave a free kick right after that. Minnesota United weren't able to do anything with that. But then, a couple minutes later, Reynoso has it. I got the replay. It's not for me to rub it in, but it's just to see how Galaxy defensively terribly. He has all the time in the world. He could just pick the pocket, and then obviously you look at Jonathan Klinsmann. At first, initially when I first saw it, I was like, Jonathan Klinsmann could have done something, and then you see the couple of the replays, and you'll see, you'll be like, there was nothing he could do. Here's a replay.
Not enough on it to get it out of danger from Hammerline, and instead it drops to the feet of who else but Robin Lund. He holds up the play, he drops it back, he finds Emmanuel Reynoso. The pressure isn't tight enough, and as he takes the ball to his left foot, nobody steps, and he just buries it side netting. No chance for Klinsmann on that one. What a finish.
A third goal of the season.
I think, Johnny, when I look at this replay and I look at that, obviously I think the jet was on him. I think it was legit. And then he takes the shot, and then it's like no one's really stepping up. I think people are still trying to get into the game, but like you can't just get into the game. You already got be ready and not give them that much space. And I think when you look at that, you can't give these players, especially that player, their DP, They're number 10. That quality of a look and a shot on the ground. What were your thoughts when you see that and you look at the replay and how defensively how they're set up?
Honestly, it just goes back to what I just, what I said prior, is that it comes into the mentality that the Galaxy went into this game in. And, for some players, maybe they're going into it saying we're winless in this many games. This is okay, we're going to do good this game. But, Vanny said it perfectly. Minnesota's mentality was perfect that game. And, when that obviously matters. Like, for example, when we were terrible, but we were still beating LAFC, it's because our mentality was there. We were ready to freaking battle. We were there saying, okay, this isn't a normal game. We need to treat this like it's a final. And Minnesota went in there and treated it like it was a final. Minnesota kicked ass. They did everything they had to, and Galaxy were caught off guard. And that's what it was. It was a horrible display of players just not being aggressive, players not wanting to be the bad guy. It was just a horrible display in that sense. And Minnesota deserved every single goal they had. Minnesota played a flawless game, I thought. They did fantastic. And that's really it. It's like when you see goals like that, that's how you have to take it. People were giving him space. Leggett was giving him space. Revolution was giving him space. Nobody was stepping up. It was because they just didn't have that mentality. They weren't there to cause violence. They weren't there to get yellows. They weren't there to be aggressive. They were there and they expected a win. I guarantee you they expected a win or a tie. The Galaxy did.
Yeah, and I mean, playing like that, I don't know. I don't really see that. And a great comment by Anna. She says, "An earthquake hits Carson." Because later in the day, I definitely felt the earthquake. When you look at that, I know we saw the replay. Alex, do you feel like Jonathan? I know I said I don't think once I looked at the replay, a couple of replays, I don't really think I could blame that on Clinton. But what was your thoughts on that first goal? Was that more the defense or the goalkeeper overall?
Yeah, I would say the defense a little bit. I think Klinsmann couldn't have saved that. I think, if I'm correct, Sega Koulibaly was kind of blocking his way in front of him. And by the time you see that shot go to the left, it's just too late for Klinsmann, because Reynoso hits it with enough power to where it just hits that corner of the right net, and Klinsmann wouldn't be able to do anything, nor would Jonathan Bond have been able to do anything. Koulibaly disrupts his vision, and I think if Koulibaly goes up and tries to press him a little bit more, then I think Klinsmann could maybe have a chance, because Koulibaly's body's not in the way as much. But I'm going to blame this on the defense more than I'll blame this on Jonathan Klinsmann. It totally 100% wasn't Jonathan Klinsmann's fault for goal number 1. I think the defense could have done better in pressing him, because that was the main reason why he got this goal. There was no pressure near him, and he had enough time to hit a quick and accurate strike. Yeah,
and I think that's just a frustrating thing, because we know, obviously if there's a weakness within the LA Galaxy is defensively, right? And obviously, Greg Vanny has drilled them. He's gone out and been vocal about the defense. And I think when he looks at this, and you look, whenever they looked at the replays or at the game again, they're going to be frustrated themselves and upset with themselves. And then I think also Greg Vanny has to think he has Daniel Stairs. I know you guys aren't that big fans of there. Sega Koulibaly to me is not looking good. He's not looking good down the stretch. Derek Williams, right? He's still dealing with the injuries, but he at times, ever since he's come back from the suspension, has not looked the same player. So I feel like in that center back position and that center, even Ryan has done a great job, but he's only one man. I think he had a shot, either this goal, or the next goal, that I'll show that he wasn't stepping up enough. And I don't know what it is with this team right now at this moment. Maybe they've gone a little too comfortable, or not. The same effort's not there, and I think that's the most frustrating thing, because you need to be putting out a lot more effort. Maybe it's the amount of games, but there should be no excuse for Reynoso and be able to get those shots. Let's play the second goal, because the second goal comes 20 minutes in, 16 minutes after Reynoso's first goal. The Galaxy didn't learn the first time. They got punished the second time again, and here's the second goal.
He's got him on the right, but he cuts it back so sharply. Sebastian Lletget can't defend, not close enough to the ball. If I'm Greg Vanny, I'm going to be disappointed in my midfielders. That's 2 chances now Emmanuel Reynoso has had, and he has buried it with that left. Jonathan Klinsmann right off.
So it was a quick replay. I'll play it again here so we can see it again.
He's got him on the right, but he cuts it back so sharply. Sebastian Lletget can't defend, not close enough to the ball. If I'm Greg Vanny, I'm going to be disappointed in my midfielders. That's 2 chances now.
So when that ball, he curls it in. Obviously, I think I misspoke earlier. This was more on Lletget. And then you see Nico there. He lowers his head.
He thinks he's playing dodgeball. He thinks he's playing dodgeball.
You shouldn't be lowering your play. Let's hear it, Alex. Let's hear it.
Yeah, that was my big pet peeve this entire game. Nico Heimelainen on the first goal, he heads it into the midfield again. If I was in that situation, I would have headed back to Klinsmann. I know he's going to come out of goal. He's done that recently in the last 2 games that he's played with the Galaxy. You know he's not afraid to come off his line. And I think if you head that towards goal, Klinsmann gets that and clears it away or picks it up. And this second goal right here, Nico Heimelainen, put your body in front of the ball. You're not playing dodgeball. Don't be afraid of getting touched with it. As long as you have your arms behind your back, it won't be a handball. And you'll have a defender there, whether it goes parries to the left or the right, to clear it out as soon as it hits the ground. So I'm gonna put Nico as a scapegoat for this game and for the last couple of results, because defensively he's just not it. He's not it. He's great when it goes to attacking. And I think in the game against Houston, he was really good at making some runs, trying to cut in deep. But since he's a defender left back, he's not going to get too many great shots. But I think Nico, attacking-wise, is the perfect player you want to have down there. But when it comes to defending, he is just not that guy.
Yeah, look, and I would add on to that last couple games, and I think the last home game against Houston, he has not looked good. He just hasn't looked good. I think ever since he committed that penalty against against LAFC. That's when the trouble started with Nico that I started to notice. And I think, he was looking great, but I felt like since the last home game, I feel like Jorge Villafana should have got a more look. Obviously, he came into this game, but I think Jorge Villafana should be the starting left back. I know I was really high on Nico, but now that I've seen the consistent mistakes that he's committed, I don't know if I would feel comfortable him being in the starting role, especially with this. Like, look, that ball is going to come fast. The second goal from Reynoso, you got to put your body on the line. You just got to. You just can't. If it's a bullet, you take it to the head. You just got to do it. That's what you do if you're a defender. All right, it's easy for me to say that, but like, look, when the ball goes in the back of the net, there's not a second opportunity. Johnny, what are your thoughts?
It's like you just said, it's easier said than done. But the one thing I saw, first off, it was a good goal. Let's just get that out of the way. It was a good goal. Awesome goal. I even tweeted about it. I was like, that's a sweet goal. Like, I mean, come on. But like, how much does he have to telegraph for Klinsmann to move early? Klinsmann moved after the shot was made. He's like, come on. Like, what else are you going to do? He already shot in that direction. Why are you moving that late? That was the only time where and again, I'm not a keeper. I'm a freaking college student that talks about soccer on Mondays. Like, I'm not a professional, but it's like, if I'm like training in jiu-jitsu and someone's telegraphing something, I see that a mile away and I don't let it happen. Like, that's your job, dude. Like what other signs is there going to be that he's going to go for that top right? Like, come on, dude. That was the only thing.
The only thing I will say to that is when Nico dips, I don't think he's expecting potentially Nico to dip his head down. Because if we see the replay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Because the last one came below. The last shot was on the ground, and this one was above. But I think whenever you have someone that dips their head a little bit, when you kind of expect, but you're right, he should be telegraphing it a little bit more.
But even then, take a step to the left a bit, because that's the thing. He got his hands on it. A step to the left would have been. That's it. It would have been saved. And that's the thing. Because then if he took that step to the left right when he was telegraphing and said, okay, I think this is going to go left, even if it was a lower ball or a different type of ball, at that point, you're close enough to make that decision at the time that he did when the actual goal went in. Just that step would have made a difference. But the fact that it was like, and sorry to cut you off, I'm sorry about that, but you get my point. It's just like, it was just a bad performance, bad defending, bad keeping, bad on everything. And it kind of goes back to the whole, when it's a 3-0 game, everyone fails. No, I completely agree. I would agree. It's everybody's, but I think to the earlier point, I would put it a little bit more on Nico, just because the way I've seen him, his performance. Yeah, Klinsmann should have done a better job, but I'm more the thought that ball should have never gone through. Ball should have never just gone through. I think that just speaks on how the Galaxy are defensively, and I think that's one of the most frustrating things. Alex, let's talk about the offense in the first half. There was no real offensive threat necessarily. Yeah, I think Dejan had a chip that Tyler Miller blocked, but offensively nothing was clicking for them in the first half.
Yeah, you could see them. They had a couple of their buildups, right, attacking in Minnesota's half, but no real danger. in front of goal for Tyler Miller. And we know Tyler Miller has history with the Galaxy, a very, very luxurious history with the Galaxy. But I thought offensively, it's been the same story all year. We've been building up, but we just can't finish in the final third inside of the box. There aren't good opportunities inside of the box. And credit to Minnesota for really kind of making it hard for the Galaxy. There was a lot of defenders inside of the box, and that's really what made it hard, because the Galaxy aren't a team that scores lots of goals from outside of the box. Most of them, if not, I think all of them this season, except for one, I can remember Victor Vasquez's goal against Vancouver. All of them have been inside of the box. So credit to Adrian Heath for tactically setting up Minnesota in a way for them to really hinder the Galaxy all game. And I think there needs to be some new ideas from Greg Vanney's part when it comes to how are we going to attack when teams put a lot of men in the box? How are we going to try to get efficient shots from long distance? And how are we going to be able to make sure that our players like Chicharito and Dejan Joveljic are able to affect the game in other ways other than just standing in the box and kind of playing GBS ball, where all we did was kind of just cross in and just pray that something would happen.
Yeah, and I think also I would also add on to that, when Kevin Cabral's not working, what's the next step? Because he wasn't really impactful in this game. He had a shot that was blocked by Tyler Miller, but he's also one of the pieces that has not been trending in the right direction, unfortunately, for the Galaxy. Jonny, what were your thoughts in this first half on the offensive struggles, or the lack of offense, I should say, in the first half?
It was just bad. And the thing is it's like consistency matters, and chemistry and learning how to play together matters. And the problem is when we change big things in the offense every single game, it just doesn't help anybody. And I get why they do it. It's not like we want to make this decision, but it's clear that like Vanney's trying to see who works better where. And just to go back, I mean, it was 10 years ago, but a reason why Bruce Arena worked so well is he had players in those positions, and that was it. You were a left wing. You were a left mid, you're a striker. We don't change that. But the problem is that we're changing it so much to where it's like these players are constantly having to be like, okay, like I was a right mid last game, now I'm a striker. Or I was a right wing, now I'm a right mid. Now I'm sitting back. It's like there's too many changes. And obviously a lot of it falls onto the players. But I think right now it's just like the strategies just aren't working. And there was like this idea that like Vanney's great in the second half. But it's like if you're losing 2-0 in the second half, I mean, I would sit back a bit and I would try to get some counterattacks going. We weren't doing really anything. We didn't really seem like we tried anything different. It didn't seem like the players went out and wanted to change anything. It was an embarrassing game. And obviously Minnesota scored so early, but it was just like, gosh, man, it was embarrassing. It was just an embarrassing second half. And we just have zero consistency. And this isn't going to change unless we get that consistency in our lineup. And then we'll get that on the field. But that's just how I felt in the first half. It was just, that's what was supposed to happen. This is what happens when you're not prepared.
Yeah, no, that's what I felt. Maybe the game plan was prepared, but the players definitely didn't show it. Didn't show how they play, because I was like, wow, 2-0 in 20 minutes. I was like, this is not good. I was like, well, one thing is it's early enough, you could come back, but to start the second half, nothing really happened until the subs came in, and it was like the 60 until Chicharito, Victor Vasquez, and then Jonathan Dos Santos. Then you started seeing something that like, okay, potentially something could happen. But then they get the third goal, I believe, in the 66th minute, and then down 3-0 in the 66th minute. It's pretty much game over at that point. And I do feel like this is LA Galaxy's worst loss, and there's definitely an embarrassing loss. The other loss that I think they had was against Seattle in Seattle. I think it was earlier 3-1. But maybe I feel like that one was a little bit more competitive than this one, unless my memory is wrong. But yeah, I mean, this is hopefully this could be a bounce back from them after this embarrassing loss, because you don't want to keep going down. You don't want to keep losing points or losing opportunities to gain some points. Alex, when you see the Galaxy go through this embarrassing loss, what do you want to see from them, obviously, moving forward?
I just want to see a little bit more motivation. Right? I feel like this team, some of the players, they're kind of emotionless, if you kind of understand what I mean. Like Chicharito, when you watch him, you see him express himself very clearly on the field when he's frustrated, when he's feeling it. Same thing with Jonathan Dos Santos. When he's slide tackling across the pitch, he's feeling it. He's in a good mood. I feel like we need players like Cabral, Grancier, Ryan as well too, just to show a little bit more emotion. Not that I'm saying it's a bad thing that they don't, but I feel just be able to show that emotion on the locker room and in the pitch, I think it's going to go a long way in trying to improve the intensity that the Galaxy play with, because I feel that's been a big criticism about their game against Minnesota, that they kind of lacked that intensity when it came to going down 1-0 early, and then when it came to just trying to fight back in a couple of the past games that they've been involved in as well. I feel like that intensity hasn't been there, and I just want to see a little bit more motivation, a bit more, I guess, not tempers in like the angry, but tempers to hungry to get that next goal. I feel that's the one thing that's kind of missing from this team, and the real thing that kind of separates the contenders to those who are just good teams, that they show their emotions and they let their emotions help them in the best of ways, and they don't hinder the team or their performances themselves.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that with Cabral. I think that's one thing, I think, he's definitely, been on the hot seat a lot with the fans. But, yeah, I think you want to see more of the emotion from him. Johnny, what do you want to see from this Galaxy team moving forward?
Consistency. We have the talent. We've seen that we can do great things with this club. We believe in Vanny. We have the keys to success. It's just kind of figuring out how to make these work. And if anything, I just want to have a more consistent lineup. I want to see a player and not be curious where he's going to play this game. I don't want to have to think, where's Sebastian going to be? Where is Alvarez going to be? Where's Cabral going to be? I want to know before they even release the lineup, okay, this is where they're at. And that's going to help, because ultimately that's going to be easier for them to figure out. And then back to what Alex said, I just want to see them care a little bit more. Like, it's cool to see Chicha care, and it's cool to see Jonathan care, but man, like, show some emotion, like show some passion, like play for the crest. You can't only love the game when you're doing well. You got to love it for all of its forms, and you got to show emotions for all of its forms. Cheesy to say, football is life, so show it on the pitch. That's it. I want to see more.
Fair enough. And I think I meant to bring this up, but Feel the Burn on YouTube brings up a great point. He says the compressed schedule makes it hard to have a consistent lineup with the need for rotation. So I would definitely agree with that. And I think part of that, part of the rotation and everything is a compressed schedule. But I would also say Efrain hasn't played as good. Leggett coming in and out with the U.S. men's national team, and then also Nico and the injuries and stuff like that. But it's a great point. Go ahead. I know you want to say something, Johnny.
Yeah, but you can still have, because that's the thing, is this happens in England all the time. FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, like that happens all the time. That's why you have different like set teams for different things. And you can still be consistent. You just have to be creative in that sense. But it's like when you have like players playing at completely different areas all over, it's like if you're playing Wednesday and then playing Saturday, like there's no reason why you should be playing a different role. And that's just in my opinion at that point. Like, you could still be consistent. You just have to be creative with how you set up that lineup.
Fair criticism. Fair point. I think also just with what he said, I think the rotation, I think, what Efrain does is different from Leggett or Victor Vasquez. And, I think also when Efrain wasn't doing anything against Houston, that's where it gets interesting. But yeah, look, by no means I don't think anybody feels like they don't trust Greg Vanny or anything like that. I mean, it's definitely not looking good. It's definitely something difficult, but like, we'll see. I think a lot of the majority is the trust on Greg Vanny is just currently the stretch that they're in. So we're going to look at the standings right now. So even though they've been in this 6-game winning streak, they've stayed in fourth for the longest time. I think they were back in fourth and third. But the gap is tying up. So obviously you got at first place Kansas City with 46 points. The Sounders are at second place with 45. Colorado with 44. Galaxy with 38. And in fifth place you got Portland Timbers with 37. RSL with 36. Minnesota United in seventh place and with 34 points, and LAFC outside looking in eighth place with 33 points. So it is tight, man. A win, a loss, a draw changes everything. Whatever happens moving forward, we're going to see a lot of changes. We can see the Galaxy move up. They can go back up to they could potentially go back up to third place. They could stay in fourth place, or depending what happens these next couple of games. Alex, when you look at this, the Western Conference standings and everything, how are you feeling about the Galaxy? Obviously, they're 1 point separates them from Portland. Obviously, like 6 points separates them from Colorado. How are you feeling when you look at the standings?
Yeah, like you mentioned, right, with 6-game winless streak. If you, as a Galaxy fan, I'm pretty sure that I can say this, and a lot more fans will agree that with this statement as well. As this team's more lucky than it is good, and that's kind of been the story of all season. There's been lots of times where the Galaxy, yeah, they've looked good and they've conceded lots of goals, but results have gone their way. And when Chicharito was gone for 2 months, a lot of results went their way, and they were fortunately able to stay a top 4 team in the Western Conference. I said this like I think like 2-3 months ago on this show. Like, don't be surprised to see some teams make late surges. I mean, we're seeing that with San Jose. Trophies is balling out, but I still think there's a lot more dysfunction in that team. Vancouver, even though they let go of Marc Dos Santos, I think they're still going to be a dangerous team no matter who they play. LAFC obviously have kind of gotten in a groove, but that was killed by Portland. Minnesota as well. We saw what they could do, and then we also still have a quality team, quality players around. And I'm not surprised to see that a lot of teams are surging at this moment, and the Galaxy have just been lucky that their results from earlier in the season have kept them alive and kept them in a right now at the moment, if I'm correct, a home playoff game.
Yeah, and it's going to be big. They're championship. They've been talking about playing and for a championship. You definitely want some type of home field advantage within the first couple of games. Jonny, when you look at these standings, how are you feeling? And obviously, what is your thought process?
I mean, I'm still happy. There we go. I'm still happy. There's like obviously like we get frustrated when games don't go our way, but it's like it's so hard for me to like be like all hope is gone when last season it was truly all hope is gone. So it's like I still feel good about it. That's the thing. In the big picture, I still feel great. If you're not in the Galaxy Facebook page, you should go in it because that's where all the loud fans go. And you should see what they're saying. They're all acting like it's the end of the world. I think it's fine. I think what's going on is fine. We have the talent. It's just figuring out how to use it. That's really it. Like fourth place, I'll take it. I'm surprised that we're still in the playoff picture, and I'm stoked about it. So, like,
Yeah, look, and even looking forward, right? The next game, it's winnable, even though it's away, is this weekend against Austin FC. Very winnable game. They're obviously dead last if you'd see, 13th place with 19 points. They're definitely not making the playoffs. And then the next game gets interesting because it's going to be against RSL, which currently RSL right now is in 6th place. So they definitely don't want to lose that game. Definitely want to get those points there because then it gets interesting because that is the final game that Wednesday of September. And then when we look, the first home game for the Galaxy in October is against LAFC. So a lot of things these next 3 games are very, very important because all 2 of the 3 teams are playoff contention. Obviously, Austin FC is bound. When you look at these 3 games, what would you feel comfortable with? What kind of points? Obviously, if you had 3 games, how many points would you feel comfortable, Alex, getting in these next 3 games?
I'd say all 9 really. And if I'm the Galaxy, you don't want to wait till you play LAFC in order for that catapult you into some good form. You don't want that win against LAFC to really be or you don't want that win to be dependent on your form for the next coming games after that game. We're also I think there'll be a test. They've played well against the Galaxy and given us some troubles. And Austin's a must win. If you don't win this, then I think a lot of the hope from that locker room and the fans is going to be gone because Austin just haven't been good at all this year. They blew a 3-1 lead to San Jose. If we go down by 2 goals, I'm expecting us to come back. If San Jose can do it with the talent that they have, I believe we can do that too because we have a lot more talent than San Jose on paper. It's just all got to show up. And I know Austin's a hard place to play, right? You hear that, the atmosphere they have there, but I think the Galaxy have to win this game. If they don't, there's not a lot of positives looking forward to the final stretch of the season.
Yeah. Same question to you, Jonny. How many points do you want to see the Galaxy get in these next 3 games? Obviously, Austin FC, RSL, then obviously at home at LAFC.
Okay, here's the thing. And I just say this because this is what shouldn't happen. I don't think we're going to do well against Austin. And I say that only because if we don't do well against Austin, then there's really no place but up for us. Really rock bottom.
Really? What does explain this thought process? Because it's an interesting one.
Everyone's pissed off. All the players are pissed off. The coaching staff is pissed off. The fans are pissed off. Losing to Austin would just be the cherry on top of the cake. But honestly, if we're going into these competitive games with that in our heads, I would feel happy being angry going into an RSL game. A good RSL game. They're very good. RSL is amazing this season. So I would be so stoked if we went into this game really pissed off. Because if we beat Austin, we're gonna be content. We're gonna be like, all right, cool. We beat Austin. I'm cool with 4 points. I'm cool with 4 points.
4 points out of 9 points? I don't know.
Yeah, buddy. With how everything's been going, I'm a realist, okay? I'll take 4 points.
That is a bold statement. I feel like 6 is not that. I mean, 5 is not even that far off if you get 2 ties with RSL and LAFC.
A loss to Austin, a tie to LAFC, and a win to RSL. I'll take it. I ain't mad.
So 4 points at okay. I don't know how the people will react to that.
They'll be mad, but they shouldn't expect a lot from me. Let's be fair.
Hey, look, as long as you keep it honest. Yeah, I would say, look, I would have to go a little higher than that. No, RSL automatic 3 points. There's no way you could lose Tars. I think you got to get the dub. You got to.
I mean, RSL beat Seattle, so anything's possible. They beat them this weekend.
MLS. That's the glory of this league. That's why I love MLS. Is because things that shouldn't happen every week, and that's why this is an amazing league. And that's why you always got to go into it expecting the worst and hoping for the best. Except if you're Seattle, then you just kind of expect to do great.
Yeah. Commercial Underground comments. He says we usually lose to easy teams though.
Thanks,
Johnny,
sir.
There's he says so true. We lose to easy teams. There, Julio validates that. He says, I just want to know how to buy a club.
The Johnny Bolin reference.
The Johnny Bolin reference. Look, he has some fans in the chat.
I need to make a TikTok about that. It'll be like an inside joke between the Galaxy fans.
That is interesting. Yeah. We got to make that into a shirt somehow.
I'll make that TikTok tomorrow. I just gotta
talking about TikToks, this is a good little segment. So my man Johnny Bolin makes a hilarious TikTok about using Borat and this and that. And I think Galaxy commented on this. Galaxy TikTok commented on it, like, hey, can we use it? Blah, blah. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I'm like thinking they're going to use it. So lo and behold, again on TikTok, I think it was today or yesterday, I don't forgot. So Galaxy TikTok, I know I'm calling them out, but kind of need to. Yeah. So they posted a video, but it was someone else doing the same thing Johnny was doing, word for word, like not image for image, but literally the same thing Johnny did. They reposted someone else what Johnny initially did, and I just comment. I was like, come on now, you got to give. I forgot what I said. It's like you got to give Johnny the respect or something like that, because it was like, why? I think they commented. They said something to you. What did they say?
Okay, so like,
or what did you say? What did you say when they posted that?
At the end of the day, like doing social media stuff, it's really freaking. I'm awful at it. I'm horrible at responding.
But look, this is by far your best post, your best social media post. It was hilarious. It made me laugh.
No, thank you. But in Galaxy's defense, like they have so many people. Like if you are on TikTok, I'll go to like a random ass TikTok that has nothing to do with soccer. A Galaxy post.
Let me just make this clear. Hold on. Did you get that off of them, or did they get that off of you? Did they copy you, or did you copy them?
So I didn't copy them. There's a meme format in TikTok right now of like that, of like Borat doing. Like people will be like doing it with like California versus Texas, for example.
Yeah. But this is Galaxy and LAFC specific, though. That's what I'm saying. But did you do it first?
Yes, I'm the first one, at least to my knowledge, that did that. And then Galaxy commented on it and they asked, "Can we share it?" I said, "You absolutely can." And then I saw it. And I made a joke. I said, is it because I'm Lars? Because they don't share anything on their Insta about Lars or anything like that. And then they were like, "Oh, we'll post yours on the rivalry week." Which at this point, it's like, okay, like I was joking when I commented that, but now it's weird. Don't post it every week. And then they liked all my TikToks and then followed me, and I was like, all right, now this is weird. This has gotten weird, but it is what it is. Like, it's the internet. You can't hate on it too much. And they're so involved with TikTok, with other TikTok stuff, that it's like, I'm not surprised that they probably missed out on it. So I'm not.
Yeah.
So Johnny's clearly hurt. If you didn't hear it. What is your TikTok, Johnny? So I can pull it up.
Let me see. I Instagrammed it to you.
Yeah. Do you have it on Instagram? Did you post it on Instagram?
Full-time Johnny B. So
Did you post it on Instagram or no?
Yeah, I posted it to your Geo Instagram. I sent it to you on You're not going to show us our conversations. They can't know our conversation. It doesn't show it.
Full-time. What's the full-time Johnny B?
Yeah, full-time Johnny B on TikTok.
It's not popping up. Hold on.
No, is it private? No, it's not private.
Oh, here we go.
You got it.
Here, let me pull. Okay, here we go. Here, let me just share the screen. Have you seen this, Alex?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, I just let me pull this up. So here we go. Let me.
Place. He is my neighbor. Nur Sultan Tuliakbai. Spaining my assholes.
The Ali Riot Squad will always show love for Joe Tutino.
This
What I
is my
do?
house. And place. He is my neighbor. Nur Sultan Tuliakbai. Spaining my assholes. I get a window from a glass. He must get a window from a glass. I get a step. He must get the step. I get a cloak radio. He cannot afford. Great success. This is my house.
It was good.
Oh,
This
okay,
one was
look-
way better than the other one that they posted.
Yeah.
To be honest,
This was way better. So, like, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm about posting on LA Soccer Hub. It's hilarious. I'm gonna reshare and stuff. But yeah, it was just hilarious to me and funny. And I was just kind of weird that they didn't show or post it on Johnny because I don't know, it was weird. But anyways, we'll post it. We'll give you the love. That's what we're here to do. Yeah, but it's hilarious. If you're a Galaxy fan, you got to watch it. You're gonna enjoy it. It just the images and everything, the way it was used. It was very creative, to say the least.
Thank you.
No, and I don't know. And then we just gotta wait for more of your creativity to come up with stuff like that, Johnny. We need more of that.
I want to try to meme up the Galaxy page. You guys know me. I'm a big meme guy. So I'm going to try to make them uncomfortable, the same way they did.
gosh.
I'm going to brainstorm it, though. I got to think about it. It's stewing in my head. So we're going to see. I bought some Chinese jerseys from, Galaxy jerseys from China. So I'm thinking about doing like a bit of me saying like, look how nice this cheap Galaxy. I don't know. We'll figure this out. We'll talk about it. We'll brainstorm.
I mean, I'm already thinking right now about doing the whole buy me a club Johnny Bolin thing on TikTok right now. I have the perfect TikTok meme format for it. I just need to look it up so I can review it one more time. But I'll do this tomorrow, and it's going to come out perfectly. I'm already envisioning it in my head. So it's going to come out good, Johnny. I'll tag you on Twitter and TikTok when it comes out.
Yeah, definitely tag me too so I can reshare it on LA Soccer Hub.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, look, I want to talk about Central American Heritage Night. It was amazing. It was a success. I don't know if you guys saw any of the stuff that I posted. Really cool. First time experiencing it. I got to talk with a lot of people. Got to chat with a lot of folks. And I like that, the people behind it, Aftra and everybody that was part of it, really made it special. Really made it special. Everybody got to be part of the whole thing. Alex, what were your thoughts on the whole Central American night?
I thought it was amazing. I thought I didn't get to go many of the other events outside of the game against Houston. But from what I could see on Twitter and Instagram, everybody seemed to have a good time and kind of just enjoy being with some Galaxy legends at the game. It was great seeing a lot of my Central American brothers, people there, representing their countries that a lot of the times are really overshadowed, especially here in America. You think about the Galaxy and lately you just think of the Mexican stars that they've had. But if you really look back at the history, Central America is what built the LA Galaxy. They're the ones who brought in the trophies for the Galaxy, and they definitely deserve a lot more attention than they are currently getting. So I thought it was great organization for this entire event. And, being able to be a fan and kind of just go chill with Jaime Pinedo or Carlos Ruiz before the game, I thought was amazing. And I hopefully feel that, all the Central Americans that went to that game or went to those events felt, proud and just felt a sense of pride in being Central American and seeing that their club they're representing them as well.
Yeah, Johnny, what were your thoughts? Obviously, I know we talked about it last week. I don't know. I don't believe you have any Central American roots, but what were your thoughts on this festivity?
Well, the big reason why I love the Galaxy is how is the community. As cheesy as that sounds, it's we're a very diverse community. Lars is very diverse. Angel City Brigade, Victoria Block in general is very diverse. With that being said, these events are just awesome because it just shows you how many Central Americans are involved in not just like the team itself, but like in all the fan clubs and the supporter clubs and all that stuff. And it's just amazing. It's so awesome to see it. You know, Jaime Pinedo just chilling out is just so awesome. Like you could tell like just by their body language. It's like they're not just talking to fans, like they're having fun, they're comfortable, they're having a great time. And it's just such a cool community. And nights like this just remind you of how special the Galaxy is, but not just that, but just the sport in general and how special it is. And I just love it. Every time we've done these theme nights, these Central American nights, it's always just been a home run. It's so fun.
Yeah, no, for me it was really amazing. I gotta make a video, I gotta interview fans before the game, gotta talk with them, gotta joke around with them. It was really cool, really cool. And I got the 1 minute video. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm just gonna play it right here.
He made me a special request because I'm a BBM dude, big beautiful man. BBM, bro, big beautiful man. So
I love that.
The reaction for the porno size food.
All right, so let's get to the real question. Who's his favorite kid? Who's Cienfuegos' favorite kid? She got the bandera. Turn around so we can see. Like, hey, vuelta, vuelta. That's it. That's all you get.
My favorite go-to pupusas are completely cheese, repollo, tomate, amazing, delicioso.
Honduras.
Represent.
100%, sin miedo al éxito.
Hey, mírala.
I'm here representing Guatemala, El Paraíso. Shout out to La Capital.
All right, so we're going to see how the pupusas are made. They're giving them out here to the Galaxy fans that came out for Central American Night.
But yeah, basically, we cook Salvadorian food. My husband's the chef back there. Tonight we have pupusas.
I got my pupusa. I got to try it. I'm excited for this. Got to dip in the sauce. Wow. This is amazing.
So that was the 1 minute. I had a couple interviews, a couple different people. Looks like we might have lost Jonny. But yeah, like I
Galaxy
really like
TikTok came for him already.
Yeah, Galaxy TikTok came from he they came and got him. But I thought it was amazing. You know, got to interact with a lot of people, got to connect with a lot of more people, and then I actually got to do a one-on-one with Jaime Pinedo. Got to chill with Pescadito Ruiz, and I really even get to know Cienfuegos' kids because I didn't know that those were his kids until I ended up interviewing them. So I really love how connected they are, and just the community and how they keep it together, and everything that Aftra did and everybody that was around, and even they had the community event on Saturday. I wasn't able to go to that, but it's really cool what they do, and I would love to be part of the community moving forward. Alex, let's talk about obviously moving forward this game. Obviously, with the Galaxy's current struggles and moving forward and everything else like that. Obviously, hope is not lost, but I think everybody's going to feel more comfortable once also Jonathan Bond getting in the back of the net, right? Because he is the number one goalkeeper. I think that will also bring up, because he's such a big vocal voice in that locker room and in that back line. Obviously, we got to make sure he's able to come back, but he hasn't played in these last 2 games. How are you feeling about Jonathan Bond? Do you think he should get a little bit more rest, or if he's ready, he should come back?
I'd say just a little bit more rest. As a keeper, he didn't have much playing time in England, right? And I think here, having such a congested schedule in MLS, the way bigger travel difference that there is between the UK and the US, I think Jonathan Bond definitely deserves a bit of some time off. But we obviously know that Klinsmann's good, but Bond's the number one keeper without a doubt. He's, I think, just a better shot stopper in general and a better distributor of the ball with his feet. And same thing with Derek Williams as well. I think Derek Williams is a big piece to that back line. And honestly, the one thing I'm kind of hoping for, and I talked about it so many times, but I hope we actually get to play a back five, like a decent back five. And there comes Jonny. Galaxy TikTok took down his computer, so he's going to be on the phone for now. But I think that the Galaxy have to experiment with the back five, playing a left back or right back as a center back in this game. I'm trying to figure out a video about it because I really want this formation to work. I think it could work. We have the personnel. I'm trying to work on a video about it to kind of explain to people what I mean by playing a back five, back three, whatever you want to call it. But I think defensively, going on the road for these next 2 games is going to be really big, and see if we can improve, because that's always been the question with the Galaxy. Can you improve defensively? And there's been injuries, goalkeeper shuffling around. But I think if we can play solid well, maybe not allow many goals, maybe 2 at max, 1 per game, I'll see that as a win in my book.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? With Galaxy, is just that the Achilles heel of this team is what they got going on defensively. So we'll have to see what happens. Danilo on Facebook, he says we need Fisher in the back line as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, I think O'Neal Fisher is definitely not talked about enough. I think O'Neal Fisher, if you play him as the third center back in a back five, will do perfectly well because he'll be the guy to track back when Julian Araujo goes up forward, or Nico Haimalainen, depending where you want to play him. But I think O'Neal Fisher isn't utilized well enough. Defensively, I think he'll be pretty good, but he will be a liability on headers. I remember in the Gold Cup, Matthew Hobby just jumped over him, and O'Neal Fisher couldn't do anything about it. Hobby just flied and was able to lead the U.S. to victory over them. But O'Neal Fisher definitely needs some playing time, and even just be subbed out for Julian Araujo for a game or two, because he's been worked to the ground all season long. Julian really playing. He solidified that right back spot, which is great, but I don't want him to be worn out, tired, and maybe there comes an injury because of too much playing time, especially with this congested schedule. So I think O'Neal Fisher definitely deserves some playing time, and he's not that bad. He's not a bad defender. I think he's a really, really good player.
Yeah, you know what's interesting too. Obviously, we know this is Jonah Araujo's the number one right back. There's no question about that. But like Greg Vanney has been able to move around different pieces. Even a month ago, he gave Jonathan Klinsmann the start over Bond, and I'm very surprised because I think it's the Houston game. Araujo has a motor. Let's get that clear. He has a motor. He can move around. But I think Houston is one I think I started to see he was starting to get, I don't know if tired is the right word, maybe fatigued. He was starting to get fatigued. And I think I would like to see O'Neal Fisher potentially start for a game, or, Araujo get subbed off. Not because, it's just a little bit more of load management, because he's literally played every single game when you have games Saturday, Wednesdays, Saturday. I feel like Jonah Araujo definitely may need a game off, may need not to play a game. Yeah, he's young and stuff, but you're gonna need him in the deep playoff run when you want him to be fresh. I know you gave Chicharito about 2 months off, but you want Jonah Araujo to be fresh as well, because he's the only one you can essentially trust.
Yeah, he's the Galaxy's I would say most important player, really, because a lot of Julian's that guy who's going to track back, right? A lot of times you'll see him during the matches where he just sprints, full-out sprints, in order to track back and recover. Julian is the most important player on the Galaxy, and if there's a game that I can kind of see him taking a break or sitting down, it's the game against RSL midweek. I think he needs to be well-rested for the game against LAFC, because I know they're going to be trying to attack him, and I think the LAFC are going to want to attack the wings as well. So if I'm Greg Vanney, I'm thinking about just giving Julian a day to rest against RSL midweek. I don't think he should be playing in high altitude. I give O'Neal Fisher a run. He's a good quality depth piece, and I think if Greg Vanney just watches him a bit more, he'll see that, hey, I can play him in the back three at times when we need to be attacking, like the Galaxy needed it to be against Minnesota. So I think O'Neal Fisher, the time right now for him to play should be now, and Greg Vanney definitely needs to have some rotation at that position, just so you don't wear down Julian Araujo.
Yeah, Johnny, I know we finally got you back. The LA Galaxy TikTok definitely took you down for a minute, but we're talking about potentially, giving Jonah Araujo a game off, or just for rest, because he's played every single game. Also giving O'Neal Fisher a game to start. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that's a great point. And it's funny because you say that. I didn't even think about that, dude. Like, Araujo's just a freaking machine, and he needs a break. And he's been the most consistent guy in most aspects. So I agree. I think Fisher needs to step up, and I think that's gonna. I think that'll do a lot. I'm a little worried about it, but I care more about Araujo's health than you get it.
yeah. No, I think that's what the point, because we were talking about everything. Everybody's getting a break. Commercial Underground, he just says Jonah Araujo had minor injuries earlier this season. He just played through them. That's true. I forgot he had those injuries, and he kind of had like a slow start. But yeah, I think if you're gonna want to have this deep playoff run, Jonah Araujo is definitely definitely gonna be one of those focal pieces. I think it's not look good. They got to turn this around, and what better way than to play Austin FC on Sunday? I know a lot of people are traveling. Johnny, are you going to be traveling to the Austin FC game?
No, sir. No way. I ain't leaving California. I'm comfortable.
He said I'm not leaving. Hey, everything's open in Texas, so I don't think you have to worry about anything like that. I know, Alex. I know you haven't traveled. Oh, you got technical issues over here.
Sheesh.
Sorry, that was a lot of shit. I mean, Guys, stuff. My bad, guys.
No worries. He says, SGV agent says, we need our backline to consist of Williams, Villafania, Julian, and Dupuis. Sega seems flat, and Nico is awful. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put in a lineup right here on some note cards I was using for the show. But yeah, I think definitely we need to solidify our two center backs for sure, right? Daniel Steres has many coaches have tried to kill off Daniel Steres, but he just always seems to come back. He's like Deadpool. It's crazy to me. Everybody try to kill him off. It's just crazy. But moving on to talking about center backs, Derek Williams, we know for sure is center back number 1 on the depth chart. He's gonna start when he's healthy, and he's definitely not gonna lose his spot. I think he provides a lot more than just defending. I think he's a great when it comes to the build-up play and long balls. I don't know who center back number 2 is really. There's so many question marks about that. Sega Koulibaly not looking good in this stretch of games that he's had. Nick DePuy hasn't played in a while, and he's kind of been inconsistent. Daniel Steres has just been revived, and he's getting played in the first starting a lineup. So I think there's a lot of questions moving on right now about who's center back number 2, because that position is up for grabs. And as a goalkeeper, center back, and defense, you do not want the center back position to be shuffled around a lot. You don't want a lot of movement in that position as well. So I think this is going to be a big question mark for this team, and Greg Vanney is going to have to find some answers in some way. Either it be sitting Sega, whether it be keeping Daniel Steres, or promoting Nick DePuy again, who I think has been one of the more underrated players for the Galaxy, because they've had so many injuries at the back line that he's just come in, played his part, and done pretty well.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to zoom into Johnny's face when you said Daniel Steres has been revived, because we know how big of a fan Johnny is of Daniel Steres. Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? About the back line? Who should be in the back line with Derek Williams whenever he's back healthy?
DePuy, 100%. Because when you look at when the Galaxy was the best this season, DePuy was starting regularly. And I understand the urgency to get like Koulibaly back and all that stuff, but there's a point when you have to step back and say, okay, you know what? This was working with DePuy. Bond is comfortable with DePuy. We need to give DePuy more time. He hasn't I get his role at the Galaxy, and I get the priority in his role at the Galaxy, but if he's doing well, play him. That's it. It's not rocket science. Sturs, you suck. And on Twitter, I said, hey, I made a joke about it, and someone's like, "This isn't like Sturs didn't have."
That's Johnny's personal opinion. That's not LA Soccer Hubs. Just to clear things up.
Yeah, Johnny Boland's opinion. But here's the thing: on Twitter, I put a thing. I said, "Hey, I made a joke about Sturs," and some dude was like, "Oh, Sturs wasn't the problem this game." Hey, dude, he was the center back in a 3-0 loss. He was part of the problem. Even if the game, there's no way to write that. The whole defense was at fault. I love Araujo. I'll take a bullet for Araujo. And at some point, Araujo is part of the problem on that game too. Everybody screwed up that game, and Sturs was just as part of the problem as anyone else was. The goal in the beginning of the second half, Sturs was the highest one up, and it was on his side. What are you talking about? Why are we still defending Sturs? What is this? Is there a conspiracy? Is there something I'm missing? Is Sturs the greatest center back ever? In training? What is it? Can they talk to us about it? I don't I will pay $100 to somebody that can tell me what's going on with this Sturs thing that they're just not telling us. I've never seen this in a sport. Have a guy be so bad and they go out of their way to keep him every single time. Last thing I'm going to say about this, I apologize, is the start of our defensive troubles, and this isn't fair. This is a very unpopular opinion. There's lots
getting deep into it, but let's go down this rabbit hole.
The second that we signed Sturs is when we started being awful. Look at
no, okay. You go away where you go. It's not just that's a little too far down.
They're gonna make him. Just you wait. They're going to fire Vanney. They're going to say, hey, we're going to make Sturs a manager. That's a great idea.
Get out of here. Get out of here. You're going down the deep end. All right, Alex, let's see this lineup. I know you were working on the lineup.
All right, let's see if the camera doesn't invert it. But, crap. Hopefully you can see, right? Okay, yeah, it's a little inverted. But as you can see, I have Villafania here. I can't tell which one's which on my fingers. But I have Villafania up there as a center back. Just because I know Nico's going to go up ahead. Nico's going to go up. And then Williams is going to stay in the middle. And Araujo are both going to go up. I have Villafania here because Ryan should be playing the number 6 around here. And if the team's caught up in counterattacks, he can just come in and play center back and have Steres be that right back temporarily for a little bit. Just so the Galaxy have enough defensive cover when it comes to being caught on the counter. And they're still able to attack well because we know Nico and Julian Araujo are great attacking wingbacks. You know the qualities that they bring up. It was evident against LAFC for Julian, him having that game-winning assist to Cabral, and then the best thing Nico's done really is just being an attacking left back. And that's really all I can say about him, not so much defensively. So I think that this lineup right here, putting Ryan to be kind of that cover center back, center mid who can come in instead of Jonathan Dos Santos, I think that lineup's going to protect the Galaxy a lot more. And I think it's going to really provide the Galaxy the same type of offensive edge that they have. They won't lose anything, but they'll just be adding more defensive cover.
Fair enough, and Villafana is definitely a defensive presence. I actually do like that. So, Greg Vanny, if you're watching, definitely pay attention. You know, Alex got something for you, but we'll see, because I mean that definitely makes a lot of sense, and you would assume it'd be a win-win. It'd be a win for Nico because he could be offensively, and necessarily he's not going to hurt you on the defensive end because you got Villafana there, you got 3 center backs. No, 2 out of the 3, but you got Villafana there that can cover a lot of ground. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Jonny, final thoughts moving forward.
I actually want Alex to do the final thoughts because I'm working on something right now.
Okay,
sure. Cool. Final thoughts. Greg Vanny, here's the little note card you need if you need it.
Pull it back up.
Invite me
so
over.
Left to right. So I should say this. Nico, this is a 5-3 or 5 in the back. Yeah. So he has Nico as a left wing back, Villafana, Williams, and Stairs as the 3 center backs, and then Rongo obviously as a right wing back.
Yeah, and just this lineup perfectly is gonna just be good when it comes to attacking. Still keeping that attacking philosophy and that build up, and then you're still gonna have the defensive cover when you need it.
Okay, well, we'll go to Jonny. We're gonna have to zoom in. So people listening to this, he has Daniel Stairs with an X crossed off in his face. This man is bold. Explain to us why you feel this way. Why I do this at the end of the podcast?
I just like to
at the end of the show.
If I was Daniel Stairs and the Galaxy were like, we'll pay you to just be bad on the field, I would say yes. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Okay, that's
no, like that's a good job. You're getting paid good money. But as a fan, it's my job to say I don't like that, and I call that out. And he's just not good. He's just not consistent. We keep re-upping his contracts. It's kind of funny at this point. I just don't like. I want them to explain it. If Vanny sat down and was like, "Hey, he's really good in training," like that's fine. But every coach has kept us in the dark about this. Like every single coach has been like this, and they've all not said anything. Like if someone's like, "Oh, what do you think about Stairs?" It's like they find a creative way to not answer the question, and it's like he's just not good. Stairs is just, he is not good. Definitely. Did he
I gotta ask a question. Did he not sign an autograph for you? Did he try to steal your girl? What happened?
It just pisses me off, dude. I mean, I don't wish anything bad about the guy. Like, just get him out of here. And just never I don't want him coaching the U10s. I don't want him coaching the U14s. Just get him somewhere else. Anywhere else. But Galaxy. He's terrible.
Okay, so definitely no love lost between Jonny and Daniel Stairs there. And if you're watching this, you have that image. Huh?
Can we get him on the show? We should get him on the show. I can get him on the show.
On the show, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't be saying all. If we get him on the show, you can't be saying all that stuff, Johnny. You can't be saying all that stuff.
I don't think I'd have you on the show. It'll be
a constructive conversation. I'll chill in the back.
Yeah, I don't know the amount of damage you've done. I don't know you. I don't think you'd be a good co-host. I think it may just be me and.
Yeah, I think Daniel Stairs. I don't think we'd ever get an LA Galaxy player on here if we had Jonny talking to Daniel Stairs.
Yeah. Well, look, hey, you're honest, and that's how you feel. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's why people tune into the show. But yeah, guys, look, that's gonna wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, for tuning in here. Also for my special guests. And look, if you guys are listening or you guys watching outside of YouTube, hit that YouTube button, subscribe on YouTube. Trying to go to YouTube. Would really appreciate a subscription. I'm assuming Johnny's already subscribed. I'm assuming Alex is already subscribed. If not, I'm definitely gonna look into those guys. But yeah, that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys, everybody that hopped on the comments. And that's going to wrap things up. For Alex and Jonny, this is Gio. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.